We'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Marissa. I will be hosting our event today, and we are joined by Burhan from Time. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with a video, and then we will jump into our products. So welcome.
Future looks like wow. It's like wow. Yeah. Future looks like wow.
Once upon a time in the narrow streets of London.
It's like wow.
Just sharing so much. आमंत्रित कर रहे हैं. मैं बहुत आभारी हूँ. अरे ये कितने अच्छे आदमी.
Call it in now, hit him with the best shot. Bring it in now, burn him with the high. Making moolah. Bada bing, bada boo, yeah. Get loose, get ready for this, it's all brand new, yeah. Catch your ride to the future. Let me introduce ya.
Aye, lad, there's magic in these old bones yet.
Watch out, big world. I'm small, but I'm mighty.
It's coming up right now. Coming up right now, and it's looking like how? Future looks like wow, and it starts right now. It's like wow, yeah. Future looks like wow, oh wow, and it starts right now.
Let us bring humankind together as one.
Oh wow, and it starts right now. Yeah. Future looks like oh wow.
Wonderful. Well, hopefully that gives you a good intro to 11 Labs, all the amazing products that we've worked on this year. And thank you so much, Burhan, for joining us as well, because one of the most innovative and fun things that I think we launched this year was with Time. And would love to turn it over to you to introduce yourself and learn more about Time AI, and the work that you've done over here with 11.
Hi, Marissa. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I'm Burhan. I am the CTO of Time. We're super excited about the 11 Labs partnership that we've got and what we've built this year for Person of the Year. It's been an incredible experience building out probably one of the most polished AI products that a publishing company has released so far. And, you know, that might sound like I'm being very, proud of that, but I am proud of that. So yeah, why wouldn't I say that? In any case, we will walk through a demo of it. But before we do, my background is I've been at Time for my entire life. A very, very long time. I often try not to tell people how many years I've been here, but it's I started in 2000, and I've been I've worked in everywhere in tech at a media company, and over the last 6 years, I've been at Time rebuilding the entire platform from the ground up for time.com. And part of our strategy going into next year is really driven by what we're going to do in audio. And 11 Labs is a core component of that. We think that people need to be able to listen to our really lengthy articles at 2x speed in order to be able to absorb all the information really quickly. So yeah, that's me. That's Time. Marissa, back over to you.
Awesome. Well, I think that, it would be great to jump into a demo for the audience to see what Time AI is, and then we can go ahead and talk more about that.
Sure. Yeah. Let's do a demo of what we launched for Person of the Year, which is our flagship event, our flagship franchise. It is why Time makes the news. So let me share my screen and show you. This is this year's Person of the Year. We've actually done Time AI for the last 4 Persons of the Year, including this year. So Donald Trump was chosen as Person of the Year this year, for better or for worse. Last year, was a little bit more fun. We had Taylor Swift as Person of the Year. And we will dive into the experience with Taylor Swift because it's the end of the year, it's the holidays, let's have some fun, right? So as you get to this page, which is ontime.com, you will see an AI bar across the top. So what we've done is consolidated a ton of functionality into this very subtle experience that does not distract from the excellent and trusted journalism that Time does, right? So you can still dive in and read this really lengthy piece on Taylor Swift and about her impact in 2023, and it's carried over into this year. Or you can interact with the Time AI bar. And the first thing you can do is click on the logo, and it'll give you instructions on how to use it, what each of the things does. And it also, the thing that I'm most keen on is the responsible AI component of it. We put a lot of effort in working with our partner Scale AI to make sure that there were guardrails in place. We might have put too many guardrails in place, but I think that's okay because it's a step in the right direction for media. So now if you interact with this, and if you want to summarize this article, you have three choices: original, which is the original story; short, which makes it a one paragraph article; or medium, which is 5 or 6 paragraphs. In each of those, you can actually then say, listen.
Taylor Swift's extraordinary 223 marks a pivotal moment in her career, achieving unprecedented success.
So you can hear the article. This is powered by the 11 Labs audio that you all are familiar with, I hope. And when you're doing Listen
Taylor
to Me,
Swift's
you can
extraordinary
also listen at 2x speed, which is
23 marks a pivotal moment in her career,
achieving
unprecedented success.
The conversational AI piece now is something completely new. And, I think it's in beta with 11 Labs. I don't know if it's, Marissa, is it already general release or is it still like alpha beta?
The conversational AI is now released publicly.
GA. Awesome.
Right.
So I feel like we're one of the first to work with this, but you can have a conversation.
Hi, I am Time AI. I am your personal guide for this article. Feel free to ask questions or explore topics that interest you. You can interrupt me at any time to change the conversation.
Hi, Time AI. I am going to interrupt you right now. And would you tell me a little bit more about Taylor Swift's impact in 2024?
In 2024, Taylor Swift's impact continues to be significant, particularly following her record-breaking Eras tour, which grossed over $1 billion and became the highest-grossing concert tour of all time. Her influence extends beyond music. She is
So you can see you can have an engaging conversation with the article, and we've actually this only came out last week, and we've seen some really lengthy engagements with the product. So I'm very, very, very cool. But it also shows you the chat, so you can switch between the chat and the conversational AI all in one go. And you can go back and view all chats, close out of the chat window, and finally, we will translate this into any language powered by AI as well. So when you hit translate, it also changes the entire AI experience to be in that language.
El extraordinario año 2023 de Taylor Swift marca un momento crucial.
And for those that are interested in some of our previous persons of the year, we have this for Zelensky in 2021, in 2022, and also Elon Musk. And so it's not just these articles, it's also all of the information, everything that Time has written about these people ever, maybe not ever, but like over the last several years, that is built into this experience. So you can chat and ask any of those questions that you want about each of these people. So that's the Time AI experience. Marissa, any questions from you on that?
Yeah, I would love to know how you picked the voices, and are the voices different for English versus Spanish or German?
Yeah, the voices were, we didn't put as much time and effort into picking the voices as we should have. What we cared about was something that was balanced, not too excited, not too too different, something that was newsy, informative, calm, along those lines. So they're similar for all the different languages. We decided to go with a more female sounding voice, and it I don't know, tell me what feedback. I want to know about the voices. What do people think about these voices? What should we have chosen? What's everybody's favorite voice? Like, let's get into it.
I love that. I definitely have my favorite voices for sure. Well, I also want to ask, like, what led you to focus on this, and how did you discover 11 Labs as a partner for this originally?
Yeah, so one thing I will answer in the question Luis is asking about, I can't wait to talk to Elon. Just to be clear, you're not going to be talking to Elon. You're going to be talking to Time AI, which is everything related to everything we've written about Elon, right? So you'll learn about Elon. Our goal is not to impersonate people or their voices or their likeness in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, going to your question, Marissa. I was introduced to the 11 Labs team through a startup that I'm advising. It's called Streamer.ai. They build AI generated ads for TV, and the team over there was really excited about 11 Labs. And one of the benefits of working at Time and also advising startups is I can kind of borrow from everywhere and put it all together. And so. When I saw 11 Labs, I was like, we need to do this at Time. We have 11 Labs launched something called Audio Native, which is an audio player that will read an article automatically and transcribe it into speech, right? And the team at 11 Labs made it so simple to implement that I was like, I could do it, and I did it, and it was great, right? So we have we have audio for articles on our pages. And when we saw that there's engagement with audio, a big part of what we wanted to do for Person of the Year was kind of say Time is really in the AI space now. And we've done a lot of partnerships in the press with AI companies throughout the year, but we wanted to also show how that is actually helping transform how people tell stories. And Person of the Year, what better place to do that, right? A little bit risky because it is our Super Bowl. It is like the most important thing for us, but we wanted to actually kind of put a stake in the ground and say, Time is here, we're doing AI, and this is a great segue into 2025 when we can dive significantly deeper into what we're doing.
Awesome. I do see a good question here from Matt. How are you seeing consumer engagement trends changing from traditional readership to listeners? And do you see any differentiation across the different markets and languages you serve?
Yeah, so we're it's early days. We're primarily, a majority of our audience is based in the U.S. In terms of improving engagement, it's actually, to be honest, it's hit or miss. In some cases, depending on the content and the length of the content, there are certain articles that people really are engaged in wanting to listen to. And we have to do some more data analysis to figure out what is like the cutoff point, right? Like my hypothesis is that, after 5 minutes of time to read, you might prefer audio, right? Or after 3 minutes, it depends on people's attention spans. And to be completely honest, I was very skeptical that people would want to listen to articles on the web. I think my initial hypothesis was that it makes total sense for people on mobile devices in an app experience to listen to audio, but on mobile web, it's like, I didn't think it would be a great experience. Somehow 11 Labs has actually made it a good experience. Even if you're on your phone and you're listening to an article and your screen locks, you can still continue to listen to the article, which is actually a huge step forward in trying to make sure that it's accessible to folks. I think I keep saying the word accessible, and the reason for that is that accessibility is actually very important for people that are vision impaired, or for people that actually need to be able to listen because they can't they're not in a space right now to be able to read. Headphones on, commuting, in the car. I mean, this unlocks so many more experiences in the future. So pretty excited about it.
Yes, thank you, Burhan. Definitely makes sense. And looking ahead to 2025, how is Time thinking about using AI, and specifically AI audio, to make content more accessible and engaging?
Yeah, I think we're still road mapping what 2025 is going to look like. There are a couple of things that I can't quite talk about just yet that we're working on for 2025. But needless to say, I want audio on every article on Time. I want. I don't know. We'll see how it evolves. I don't know about chat with AI, like having a conversational AI that might be reserved for maybe the entire site, or maybe like not an article at a time, right? Like, this is us testing the waters. This is us. So this launched a week ago. We're going to let it run for as long as it takes to get to statistical significance in terms of data, so that we can figure out which components of Time AI we want to carry forward into the larger experience on time.com next year.
Amazing. And what has been your experience building this with 11 Labs?
Super easy. I personally had to do very little work, but the 11 Labs team partnered with the Scale AI team and our internal team to put this experience together, and it was seamless. The team, from everyone from Maddie on down to from Alex, Maddie, Hugo, everyone, you are fantastic partners, and it's really been not just for this experience, but throughout the year. Working with the 11 Labs team has been fantastic.
Well, thank you, Burhan. I appreciate this. This is such a cool product. I am also looking forward to learning more about all of the people of the year from using Time AI. And now I wanted to jump into talking about some of our other releases this year. The first one that I wanted to show, and Burhan, tell me, what is one thing that you are hoping Santa brings you this year?
Oh man, sleep. I'd love to get some sleep. Santa, please give me some sleep.
All right. So here this year we were, we had one of our, I think all of our releases are really cool, but we released our conversational AI platform, and this gives customers and users a way to talk to and have a dynamic conversation with an AI bot. And we are also joined by Louis from our team, who built this, but we put together this to demonstrate what is possible with our conversational AI platform. And so I'm going to do a little bit of a demo with Santa. So here we go.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho! Good night to you too.
Let's try that one more time.
Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas, my friend. Tell me, what is your name?
Hi, Santa. My name is Marissa.
Wonderful to meet you, Marissa. Now, what is on your wish list this year?
I wish for better sleep. I wish for a puppy, and I wish to visit the North Pole.
Ho, ho, ho! I've added your wishes for better sleep, a puppy, and a visit to the North Pole to my list. Now, Marissa, can you share what you've done this year that makes you feel you deserve to be on my nice list?
Well, Santa, I'm hosting a webinar for many of our wonderful customers.
That sounds fantastic, Marissa. Hosting a webinar shows your kindness and dedication to helping others, which definitely deserves a spot on the niece list. What fun plans do you have for the holidays?
I have to go now, Santa, but I really appreciate talking to you.
It was a joy chatting with you, Marissa. Thank you for spreading your holiday cheer. Have a magical Christmas and remember to keep being kind. Until next time, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Santa. All right. And then you can save this video and you can share it out. There's also this cute little countdown timer. And over here in a corner, you might see this little note here. We've already sent 5,452 letters to Santa. And every time someone saves and downloads a video, we donate $2 to one of our partners, Bridging Voices. And 11 Labs has launched an impact program, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But I wanted to turn the floor over to Louis from our team, who actually built the conversational AI platform for the Talk to Santa product. So Louis, would you mind walking us through how you built that?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm an engineer at 11 Labs. We built Talk to Santa. It took us about 2 or 3 days to build in total. It was probably one of the most fun projects this year to put together. And I also worked on the SDKs for conversational AI. So all the sort of ease of use is coming from that part as well. So it's good to hear that Time had a good time implementing their conversational AI piece. In terms of how we built it, so you see we have obviously a voice, right? The Santa's voice. We actually had Santa come into the office and record a professional voice clone, which was really fun to see. We then used that voice on a conversational agent. We sort of prompted it to behave in a certain way. And then we had different tools that it can call. So you have like a client tool that can then, open up that little pop-up window and put Marissa's name in the box. Populate that like list of presents that they want to have for Christmas. It's been really excited to see that being launched. We had about 10,000 people use it over the past few days. So Santa's been very busy reading those messages. And can't wait to see what people build with conversational AI. It's really exciting to see it in real production use cases as well. So and that's pretty much it from my side. I'll put the link into the chat for the repo. It's all open source, so people can see how it's built. And that's it.
And Louis, would you mind walking us through the platform from the 11 Labs side and what it looks like to build up this agent?
For sure. On the dashboard, you have the Agents tab. And essentially, we have the Santa's voice somewhere in here. So we created like a dedicated voice for Santa. We then applied that to this agent, which is here.
And the voice, remind me, Louis, the voice was an actor that we brought into the studio, and we used our professional voice cloning technology to clone a voice. So we found that voice for Santa and cloned his voice.
Yeah. So it's like a 2-hour-long recording of Santa's voice. We then
I thought it was Santa himself that came.
It was the real Santa. It definitely wasn't the voice actor. So we had him come into the office, and then essentially we prompted to reply in a certain way. And these are the tools that you see that are sort of triggering those actions on the page. So it's triggering the name whenever they say their name. It's going to then open up that little pop-up with Marissa's name. So it's a very simple one to build. I'm really excited to see it used in like more productive use cases. For example, like we have our documentation for 11 Labs that currently uses conversational AI, and if you ask it to take you to a specific page, it will actually go ahead and redirect the page to that specific documentation piece. So we're learning from our customers every day. We're learning how people are using conversational AI for real use cases, and this is just sort of a fun one to get people's ideas flowing. So I think that's it. Are there any questions on the conversational AI piece, Marissa?
Louis, what did you ask for Christmas?
What did I ask for Christmas? I asked for a new watch and a new pair of shoes.
Nice. Yeah. Hopefully Santa is good to you.
I really hope so. Yeah. Cool.
Amazing. And I think we have a kind of a question about cost savings, or like how does it benefit time financially to integrate something like AI audio to 11 Labs? And I'm sure, you know, from many of our publishing customers, like the Wall Street Journal, what they found is that engagement has increased by 40%. When customers are able to listen to it versus just read the article. And Burhan, let me know if that's something similar to what you guys are projecting or have seen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's there isn't anything direct right now, right? It's if you look at any of those pages for Person of the Year, there are actually no ads on them. So it really is meant for driving engagement and like showcasing what the art of the possible is. We think that possibly in the future, there's, you know, as you drive deeper engagement into a platform, as you build more returning users, you can actually, you know, that's where you can monetize a little bit better. But we are purely thinking of what we did for Person of the Year from a perspective of engagement and using AI to highlight the journalism that Time does in a positive way, and not take away from it, not, you know, just launch a simple chatbot experience. It's really meant to deepen the engagement with the journalism right now.
Awesome. Thank you, Burhan. I am going to now talk a little bit more about that box that you saw in the corner of our Santa product, which is another of one of our initiatives this year that we are very, very proud of. And that is our impact program. So here you can see our impact program. I'm actually going to let one of our voices, similar to what Burhan showed, tell you a little bit more about our impact program.
11 Labs Impact Program aims to empower 1 million voices through AI audio vertical bar 11 Labs. We're joining forces with Bridging Voice and the Scott Morgan Foundation, leading accessibility-focused nonprofits, to launch an initiative to help remove communication barriers for those affected by amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, and motor neuron disease, MND. Where free access to our voice cloning and text-to-speech technology to ALS, MND patients who have lost or are at risk of losing their ability to speak.
Yeah, so we have been lucky enough to set up partnerships with Bridging Voices, the Scott Morgan Foundation, and also working with individuals who have lost their voices in order to bring their voices back. Earlier this year, we also paired with a lawyer who lost her voice and she was no longer able to defend cases, and through 11 Labs, she was able to defend cases again using her own voice. And so that has been something really special to us. And something else that we launched this year was our projects feature, having a few new features. So our version 2 projects. So I'm going to go ahead and share that. First, I'm going to, yes. So over here on our as part of our product suite, we have our projects. So here in projects, you can do a few things. This is where audiobooks are created. You can, create an article with audio on it, and you can also create a podcast, our GenFM, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But here we have a Christmas Carol, which I created, and it was as simple as uploading this document here. So here we have a PDF of a Christmas Carol, and then I added that into our system and it inputted all the text. And then what you can go ahead and do, and you can assign voices. And in our V2 version of projects, what's really cool is you can actually assign multiple voices and have different voices speak different parts. So here we have this voice.
Marley was dead to begin with. There is no doubt whatever about that. Marley was dead to begin with.
Or this.
Mind. I don't mean to say that I know of my own knowledge what there is particularly dead about a doornail.
Yeah, so here we can, choose a paragraph and then have different voices speak the different paragraphs. Or in this one, what I did is I went ahead and highlighted this sentence and had assigned one voice to it, and then highlighted the rest and had a different voice assigned to it. So here's what that looks like.
Scrooge knew he was dead? Of course he did.
How could it be otherwise? Scrooge and he were partners for I don't know how many years.
Scrooge knew he was dead?
In this way, you can really build a very dynamic audiobook experience, article experience, having different voices come in and say different things. And the next version of this is, okay, now how do we have that dynamic two-person conversation? So we created GenFM. In GenFM, you upload an article and it will create a podcast for you. So you can choose which voices you want to have the conversation. So for this first voice, our host, we have Chris. And for our reactive voice, we have Jessica as our clones. And all I did was input our Christmas Carol PDF, and this is what it created. We need to generate these.
What if Ebenezer Scrooge was actually the hero of A Christmas Carol? Today, we're exploring how this classic tale of redemption might be more complex than we've been led to believe.
That's an intriguing perspective. I've always seen Scrooge as the villain who becomes the hero. What makes you think he might have been the hero all along?
All right, and so there you go. From a PDF or an article, you can simply ask it to create a podcast for you so that you can learn about the material in a podcast format. This is exciting. So this we have released on our web recently, but this is also part of our Reader app. And on our Reader app, that's where you can also generate GenFM. You can pop in a Time article and have it create a podcast about a Time article, similar to how we were chatting with Time AI earlier. And then something else that's really, really cool that we released this year on our GenFM, and you can use it with GenFM, you can use it anywhere on our Reader app, is our iconic voices. So let me show you a little bit about our iconic voices. So we have been working very hard to be able to allow you to read any article, any piece of content in a voice that is, unforgettable, that you recognize. And so we have Burt Reynolds, Judy Garland, Maya Angelou, Deepak Chopra, who have all joined us in order to give that experience to you so that you can listen to any piece of content. So let's hear this.
With the power of AI, centuries of spiritual understanding can be distilled to its essence in an instant. This is Deepak Chopra, speaking with a voice generated purely with 11 Labs technology. Imagine a world where you can connect with ancient wisdom instantly et transcender les nationalités en 32 langues différentes. That world is here today. Let us use my AI voice to break barriers and understand each other without limitations. Let my voice be your guide. Try it now on the 11 Labs Reader app.
Yeah, so that's something that we've been very proud of releasing this year and bringing that to our customers. And now, without further ado, we've talked about a lot of different items that we've had this year. We're so grateful to have been joined by Burhan. Wanted to open up to some Q&A. So let's see. We had a question about which LLM is best to use for conversational AI for education purposes. That's a really good question. We actually you can bring your own LLM. And in the LLMs that we offer, which are GPT, Claude, Gemini, you can insert a knowledge base yourself and prompt it to make sure that it's understanding that type of knowledge.
Marissa, I had a question about the podcast feature. Do you have any examples of podcasts that are out there that have been created with it that you want to share, or maybe you can send to me later? But I'm just curious who's used it and how it turned out. I haven't tried it. I'm really excited for that feature. I've obviously tried Notebook LM, but I have not tried that one, and kind of buried in projects.
Yeah, I'm happy to send that to you. We have a lot of customers kind of generating it on their own. This is quite a new release. I think only a few weeks out. So we are definitely starting to see a lot of interest in how do you create this on a wider scale. Stuff like financial advisement, and also how do you even around comic books. Can you put in a comic book and then create a podcast around that so that fans can continue to engage in, understanding and learning more about worlds? And these are different ones. Oh, we also have a question for Burhan here. Have you explored engagement rates of different voices? Interesting. Have you tried different voices and looked at that yet?
Not yet. I think what we'd like to do, and what I've been talking with the 11 Labs team about, is actually create a time voice, right? Like figure out what the voice of time is. It could be a single voice that everybody recognizes as the voice of time. When you think of, Walter Cronkite, or you think of Tom Brokaw, there are like these journalists that have these amazing voices that you associate with their journalism. I think that's the direction that I'm thinking about voices. Maybe not necessarily a variety of them, but one or two iconic time voices.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited for that, to see who you choose. I think my voice is there on the library somewhere as well. I've cloned my voice. Burhan, do you think you'll ever clone your voice?
I have cloned my voice. It's not on the marketplace, but I've done it. It's a great presentation trick to show your voice in different languages. I have my voice speaking Russian, and that surprised an audience quite a bit. It was a lot of fun.
Amazing. All right. Well,
I think we've got a question from Matt about engagement. Oh, not that, from Nadine, actually. In terms of an ad model site, that's a balance we have to. So the question is, does having audio negatively impact your wider article ad revenue if they aren't scrolling down? The obvious answer is yes, it can, right? But the long tail of it is that if we're providing an engaging experience, then people are coming back more often, which means we can develop more higher impact ads, more impactful experiences that are ultimately providing equal, if not better, monetization.
Good question. We have a question here about were the voices that are iconic voices licensed through families and trusts or deemed public domain? So those are licensed through families and trusts. So we were engaged by them. They actually found out about our technology. We were very interested in it, and we started conversations. And so, there's different ways that voices come to us, but I don't. That's how our iconic voices were sourced to us. Yeah, and I think that we are just about at time. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for this webinar. Thank you so much, Burhan, for joining us and showing us about Time AI and answering questions. And I hope everybody has a happy holiday season.
Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.